My pleasure to welcome Sanjiv Malhotra. He is the founder, CEO of Oorja, the TiE 50 winner in energy clean tech space. It's a pleasure to welcome you, Sanjiv.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you.
So congrats on becoming the TiE 50 winner. 1,600 odd companies, 219 finalists, and you are among the 50 chosen ones.
It's an honor.
So wanted your take on becoming the winner and your experience with TiE and TiEcon.
Sure. So as far as the take on being the winner, like I said earlier, it is an honor, and we are very privileged. We feel very privileged and thankful to the TiE community and to the panel of judges for selecting Oorja as one of the winners in the energy and clean tech space. And as far as our relationship with the TiE and TiEcon events, this goes back almost 4 or 5 years since we started attending the TiEcon events, and have been very, very successful in meeting customers, in meeting employees at these events who are now part of the Oorja team. So
let me take the entrepreneurial question first, because as you know, TiE is all about fostering entrepreneurship,
Sure.
Connecting the ecosystem. As an entrepreneur, when you look at, especially in the clean tech space, because the last, especially 3-4 years, there's been a huge amount of interest in this space. How has your experience been as an entrepreneur in this particular space?
So, as you said, the last 3-4 years, there's been, I would say, an exponential growth in the awareness of the clean tech vertical. There is awareness not only amongst investors, but amongst potential customers, amongst potential employees, and that helps companies that are starting off or have already started off getting to meet with all three, the investors, customers, and employees. And for us, that has been definitely, I would say, a key point as far as the evolution of this ecosystem is concerned, that we've been fortunate to avail of this growth to meet customers, to meet employees, to meet investors, and now we're thinking of going global. So with going global, obviously you can depend on the web to go global, but having face-to-face meetings and events like yours, like events like TiEcon, I think that's a very good platform for a company like ours that is seeking to go global.
So Oorja is in fuel cell technology.
That's right.
So tell us a bit more about your technology.
Sure. Traditionally fuel cells have been synonymous for the last quite a few years, actually, I would say quite a few decades. Fuel cells have been around for almost 100+ years, and they've been synonymous with hydrogen. And hydrogen is a very light gas. It is one of the lightest gases around. So in order to store it, to transport it, you essentially have to compress it under very high pressures. What that means is it's a very expensive proposal. It's not a very safe proposal, and makes the distribution and the logistics for hydrogen very difficult and expensive. So Oorja's value proposition in terms of technology is that we are using a liquid fuel. It is an alcohol. It's a very commonly available form of alcohol, not the stuff that you and I drink in a beer or wine. That's ethanol. This is called methanol. And this is made from very commonly available sources. Unlike ethanol, which, I hate to use this, but ethanol has been in the forefront by killing, in terms of production of ethanol, by killing crops. And methanol is made from very commonly available sources like natural gas. A lot of biomass sources like wood, it's called wood alcohol, is made from agricultural waste, from wood waste. And so not only is it very widely produced, it's very widely used in a lot of commodity applications, like the windshield washer fluid in your car that uses methanol. So there's a distribution infrastructure in place worldwide for methanol. It's a very affordable fuel, about $1 a gallon. And so that's our technology. We are able to convert methanol into usable energy in our fuel cell.
So how far away are you?
Oh, we are in commercialization. So we are in production. And our initial market is industrial equipment, for example, forklifts, where the need is dictated by the fact that batteries are not able to provide the runtime, not able to provide the energy to go through 2 shifts of operation. Forget 2 shifts, even a single shift of operation. So warehouses, distribution centers that have large forklift fleets, and they need to run around the clock. The batteries do not provide the runtime for that. And the Oorja fuel cell powered by methanol, powered by liquid alcohol, is able to provide the runtime. And the next step beyond this is electric vehicles, where again you have batteries, but batteries are not able to provide the runtime. Any chemistry, whether it's lithium or nickel or lead acid, they're not able to provide the runtime. So they need a fuel cell to be a range extender.
So in terms of adaptability, what has been your traction?
Well, we've been around for the last 5.5 years. So the first 3 years were in technology development and getting the product out and doing the proof of concept. The last couple of years has been in commercialization, and today we count some very large names as our customers. For example, the McDonald's family, the burger folks, they have distribution centers, and we have gotten multiple repeat purchase orders, almost about half a dozen purchase orders from McDonald's to convert their entire distribution centers. Nissan is a customer of ours, Nissan North America. They're using it in their forklifts at their production facilities. So, these are some of the names. For example, US Food Service is a large customer. And so our traction has been very good. And as I said earlier, we are in production and now looking to ramp up production to meet the needs of this market, plus looking at the next market, which is range extender for electric vehicles and some other low-hanging fruit markets.
I think I would appreciate if you can help us take this to the smallest level, where if you take an example of a forklift.
Sure.
And see, the application of the battery,
yeah,
and the improvement that it brings to the machine itself.
Most certainly. So if, as you so desire, let's look at the day in the life of a forklift. I'm sure maybe most of us have not driven a forklift, so are not very familiar with a day in the life of a forklift. A typical forklift starts in the morning. Let's say 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, the morning shift starts. And 5 or 6 hours into the shift, this forklift, the battery in the forklift has run out of energy or run out of juice. So the forklift drives to what they call a battery room or a battery changing room, where you have rows of batteries, rows of chargers, and then you have a special equipment which is called a battery changer. And these batteries are by no means like your car battery. This is a 3,000 to 5,000 pound battery. So they have to have a special equipment to take out this very heavy piece of lead. So using this special equipment, which costs anywhere from about $500,000 to $1 million, they will take this battery which has been depleted from the forklift and put it onto a charger. They'll take a freshly charged battery and put it onto the forklift. Off goes this forklift. Now this battery that has run for 4, 5, 6 hours on the forklift, when you put it on a charger, it takes about 15 to 16 hours to charge and cool. So what that means is that this forklift that is running 2 shifts or maybe around the clock, you have to do this process of battery change out multiple times. That means that each forklift, you have to maintain additional batteries, anywhere from about 3 to 4 batteries. And the net result is a very high capex. Each of these battery packs cost anywhere from about $3,000 to $5,000. Each battery has to have its own charger. The charger costs about a couple of $1,000. So, the capex can add on to about $14,000, $15,000, $16,000. And on the OPEX side, you have the cost of the power, because these are being charged around the clock, these batteries, plus when you're changing out the battery, the cost of labor, the cost of downtime, the cost of productivity. So it's a combination of CapEx and OpEx. And our value proposition is that with the Oorja fuel cell, essentially, the fuel cell is an onboard battery charger. You eliminate all the additional batteries, you eliminate the charging, so you eliminate the charging equipment, you eliminate all the downtime associated with the charging. You start the morning shift, it takes less than a minute to fill up 3 gallons of methanol into the fuel cell, and that goes for 2 shifts. So that's an entire day. So with less than a minute of downtime, you are going with an entire day of operation. And this value proposition basically results in a very rapid payback, anywhere from about 6 months to 15 months. So that is the value proposition that the customer is saying: a rapid payback, increase in the productivity, their operational productivity, increase in safety, you're not changing out heavy pieces of lead or the batteries, and the green benefit. This is an environmentally benign technology. So, they're not spewing lead or acid into the environment or any other noxious particulates.
Well, very impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience
You're
on the
welcome.
company's technology.
Sure.
Again, congrats.
Thank you.